If you needed any more proof that this is straight retaliation and harassment to 7 of the 8 individuals who are being denied bail because they're advocates of street vendors or critical of police brutality, I need to remind you that in the instances or altercations the few altercations that occurred, there was 0 serious bodily injury. No one was seriously injured from anything any of these 8 individuals had ever done. And yet 7 of them are being still denied bail. Well, I must bring your attention to some very tragic news. There was a hit and run that resulted in a 16-year-old who died. The 16-year-old victim is Joshua Alexander Sanchez Barreras, and the suspect who killed them in the hit and run is Troy Dean Reynolds. And on January 26th, the police found someone unresponsive in the road. And during their investigation, their leads and evidence brought them to a Dodge Ram truck. Troy Dean Reynolds was the owner. It looked like a tow truck, by the way. And it said here that there was extensive efforts made to conceal his involvement. And they even went to a collision body shop in Riverside County where he sent the car shortly after the hit and run. This is where things get weird. It says, through an agreement with Reynolds' defense counsel and the district attorney of San Bernardino, Reynolds is scheduled to surrender in court on February 27th. That's right. The suspect, Troy Dean Reynolds, that is responsible for killing this 16-year-old Joshua, has been free since January 26th. And he doesn't have to surrender himself until February 27th after this fatal hit and run that killed this boy. As you see here, the news reported just a day ago that this was a truck similar to the one used that killed Joshua Barreras. And that's how we get here, because it appears Troy Dean Reynolds owns Hills Towing. And I called Hills Towing and I asked a couple questions. And one of the questions was, do you have any contracts with police? And the man who answered said, yes. My heart goes out to Joshua's family because I can't imagine how painful it is to know that the person responsible for your son's death has some relationship potentially with the police, and that could hinder any responsibility or accountability that we would expect. And while the suspect responsible for killing a 16-year-old is free hanging out, 7 of these 8 individuals are being denied bail, rotting in a jail cell. Some of them are being held to confinement and solitary. And we must all sign this petition and demand they be released.